finish line to close out the event. So they have retaken the lead from CrossFit Kima as they're making their way back to the work for their final set of 21.
And interesting the different ways they approach that. CrossFit Kima actually had their last athlete slow down a little bit on the rower. So when he transitioned over, they immediately picked up the worm and got to work. Omaha got there faster to the worm, but took a significant break that he mentioned they switched places. That position on the worm is key. Typically speaking, in this team format, the front position of the worm is the most difficult. So you don't get the benefit of having athletes kind of balance out the weight in front and behind you.
CrossFit Nashville in the red. They are in lane number 6. They have moved into a battle for second place now with CrossFit Kima, and at Fulcrum, they are in the green tops in the middle of the screen, now moving off to the left. They are in their final set of 21, and now in lane number 4, it's Junction Kailua. CrossFit Omaha bottom left, and then the other teams who were fighting for a spot in the top 3 were on the right side. And Persigo's back in front for Omaha.
That's a significant break for Omaha. You're starting to see the cumulative effects of these things. Look at lane 8 on the right side of the screen. CrossFit Kima, they're final 2 athletes a little bit out of sync in terms of getting it overhead. You'll see the tail of the worm start to trail behind that. If that starts to get more and more pronounced, there's a timing element here that could lead to a no rep and eventually have them wasting some precious energy if they get out of sync.
CrossFit Kima from the top to the right side.
65. That's a long way.
Fulcrum Fitness there on 11 minutes into their left 21.
You got 2 left. So I get 1 and stop.
They was the world first of that final set of 21.
That's what makes sense to you.
Final 5 reps. CrossFit Omaha judges then in the air. So look at the first in his first 2 heats. CrossFit just come to CrossFit finish line.
see Kelly Jackson, team captain there, multi-year individual athlete in the games.
Lane one is going across the native. They absolutely fumbled that thing and went down the heat a little bit ago, and they're trying to get that sorted. They had 5 minutes to go. That's not a minute left for the time.
That's it, 5 teams in quarterfinals as well. Talk about representation, being able to field a competitive group of athletes in your gym.
Russell Landon is in. 3 teams left on the floor. CrossFit, and lane 1 for CrossFit. Lane 2, they have a solid performance in event 1. And the other lane 4, lane 10 is CrossFit Red Zone. Also working there as we approach the 30-second mark in the event. 15-minute time cap here. And now, that's what the board can do when you just get out of as Day 1 of the Atlantic CrossFit Challenge continues. Sean Goodman with Tommy Marquez, Nikki Grayson will be here in the second. She is on the competition floor. We are in the middle of the second event for the teams, and it's CrossFit West Shakes led by Aaron Hanna. They come in with the overall lead. Their men won the opening event, and the women came out and finished third.
Yeah, Aaron Hanna, 370 cleavage, showing his top end strength, and then the women sealing the deal is 225 cleavage. Such good patience to in the competition before cleavage. That lift right there would be good enough to give the West Chase women a third place finish overall. It's in the tip.
Hardy and Kimberly Gray celebrating that effort. And Hardy, here's where we stand. After those 250-point events, West Chase overall leader, 12 points over Lone Star and 3 bridges. Down in 6th place, CrossFit Mayhem Freedom with 68 points, but guessing they're going to start their ascent up the leaderboard because the world is next, and we know how well they do. But that implement is in an event. This event is presented by Rockwater. It is known as Cerberus. 3 machines. Dastardly work.
Yeah, you know, this workout is named Cerberus because it was the 3-headed dog that guarded the underworld. Well, you have 3 implements on the machines, and you get to choose how you slice it.
So we got to make it ready for more of that implement, the work.
Yeah, this is a tough implement, guys. Broken out into different weighted sections, starting with 70 pounds in the back, 100 pounds in the middle, 70 pounds again right in front of that, and 100 pounds up front. Not to mention the fact I could buff out my nails on some of this campus if I really wanted to. You might see some of the more seasoned teams come out here with headbands, some tape around the ears, just for a little bit of extra protection.
Thank you, Nikki. Drones flying around here, the Thompson Bowling Arena. The world will be flying around here soon. Your start list presented by CBD MD, and we mentioned that earlier. CrossFit Mayhem Freedom outside the top 5 right now, but you know they have been licking their chops when it comes to the work.
Yeah, one of the hallmarks of Mayhem's performance over the years has been their proficiency with the worm. It doesn't matter who is on their roster, you know that they're going to spend a lot of time with that implement in training, whether it's at Mayhem, the affiliate in Rich's Bar. They're going to get after it. 2 athletes like Andrew Ness and Taylor Williamson are familiar with this, so they're going to be able to step right in and knock this out of the park.
Jason's going to roll your
10 more minutes.
Skeeter, Taylor Williamson,
I'm really looking forward to it.
and Andrew Ness are going to rest to start in lane 6. That's CrossFit West Chicks. They are your overall leaders coming into this event. You heard Nikki saying she can buff her nails on the surface of that work. If you remember the first time they used that, it was uncomfortable with work between them. And there were bloody ears and splinters and just ruined days next to that.
Well, the inspiration for Dave National including this was the implement set. That was made out of wood that they used in the SEAL teams for conditioning and team building. And then after our first go out at the games, we were it started to splinter, some hands got crushed, some people were ill prepared to deal with the abrasive effects of the wood. They switched to this canvas bag, and that Omaha came out to an early lead, and they were able to maintain that. And for fans of Mayhem, that's a good sign that they're out in front early because you know how fit they are. That conditioning base that they'll have, they should be able to hold on fairly well here.
This one is swapping out for Chase Hill on the play. This is training Tank. They're like 3 members over Ruth, Harvey, Brandon over Mia Gianelli.
Little husband and wife combo there between Randy and Mike. Adding to the team chemistry there, you up.
Tagging in for Taylor Wilson, who will break. Goldrick and Gianelli swapping out. The training think tank as they try to hang on to third place in this heat. Chase Hill has completed his 30 calories on the bike, and he will join Taylor Wilson after work. Rich Corbin is chalking up as well. Andrea Nisler is done with those 30 calories. Now Mayhem back to the work. For 15 more clean and jerks. Once again, 358 total pounds on the work, 2 sections of 100 pounds, 2 sections of 70, and then 6 filler bags in between each section. Lots of West Chase, they are now on the work. Aaron Hanna, Dylan Bailey, Julie DeCurry, and Hannah Hardy on the right side of the screen. Trying to chase down Rich Rodney Company from CrossFit Mayhem Freedom, now CrossFit. They are both done with their second set of 30 calories without ladies. Training think tank. They those purple shirts. They are still in third place. Time to beat 11 minutes, 28 seconds unofficially from CrossFit Omaha. They're now in the opening heat here.
And I think it should be noted here, this is an event really where I think Chase Hill personally can show his value to the team. You know, maybe he's not the strongest, but talking with Rich, one of the things that he excels at is the machine work, the conditioning, the monostructure, kind of cardiovascular endurance. They did a mini triathlon, a sprint triathlon leading into the season. And the fact that Rich would admit that Chase kind of gave him business when they raced is a testament to his conditioning base. I think we're seeing it here with Chase being in that third spot and being able to cue some of the team.
Mayhem is done with their 15 worm clean and jerks. Back for a final round of 30 calories on those 3 machines. And then they will close out with 21 worm clean and jerks, and they are far and away in the lead here. The fight for second is between West Chase and Training Think Tank. And in lane 7, Lone Star CrossFit is starting to get into the mix as well. They're on the right side of your screen in the light blue tops and red shorts. Lone Star CrossFit, the team of Clay Ferris, Casey Vider, Sharon Erudite, and Kristen Contreras, and that's Chase Hill working on his 30 calories on the biker.
And West Chase just got a no rep there. With a movement like this on the worm, that it takes so long, just a single no rep can be incredibly costly. And we've already seen it drop West Chase out of the top 2 spots.
Andrea Nisler will tag in. Rich Groening will make his way to the skier. And remember, after the seat, we have CrossFit CEO Eric Rosa joining us on the broadcast. And then we will have the final event for the individuals following that. So plenty of stuff still to come here for the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Challenge. And the teams are looking at their second and final event of the day. And it's CrossFit Mayhem Freedom who lead in this second heat. Time to beat 11 minutes, 28 seconds. And that looks like it is in danger now, courtesy of CrossFit Mayhem Freedom. CrossFit West Chase in lane 6, they're in the middle of your screen. They were pushing Mayhem for first place after the first round. Lower left, Training Think Tank.
10 seconds.
So unofficially, they will trail West Chase for the overall lead after they won by just 2. Again, this is unofficial.
And on the right side of your screen there, that's 3 Bridges CrossFit. They were actually in a tie for second, but third on the tiebreaker coming into this event. So in fact, they're one of the final teams out on the floor. I mean, we're not going to have to wait much longer for Mayhem to be in the top 5.
Let's bring you back. All right.
So plenty of time to go. 3 minutes to be exact before we hit that 15-minute time cap. And there are 4 teams left on the floor. In lane 2, as Tommy mentioned, 3 Bridges CrossFit. They are willing to screen at the other end of the floor. Spicy Little Mamas, CrossFit Boynton Beach, and CrossFit Reignited Wilmington are working to their final set of 21. And In lane 9, CrossFit Boyd uses judge's hand is in the air, so they will come across the finish line. 3 bridges taking a break. 2.5 to go before we hit the time gap.
And both of the teams still on the floor. Spicy Little Mamas and 3 Bridges CrossFit were in the top 5 coming in, so you have to expect that they're going to be, their time in qualifying position is going to be short-lived.
And just spilling over the finish line. The Spicy Little Mamas. Lone Star CrossFit there. Putting some pressure on CrossFit West Chase for the top spot of the overall leaderboard. Mayhem Freedom just absolutely demolishing the time to beat. Zimbabwe's up with West Chase. If you look at this just show people this event.
Yeah, under the definition of precision in the Webster's Dictionary, the picture of this 4-team duo in this event is going to show up. They led from the outset. First team off with the machines. First team back to them in round number 2, and they never looked back. Expanding upon that lead with every single implement. By the time they got to 21, one finisher, there was no one even in their view.
100 points and an event win for CrossFit Mayhem Freedom as they look to punch their way into the top 5 overall. The only team to go sub-9, 8:59.11 seconds. And then the next 5 teams finishing top 5 in the event in that heat. Lone Star CrossFit, that's a huge second place for them. Training Think Tank will finish 3rd, and there's CrossFit West Chase winding up in 4th place. CrossFit Mayhem Freedom, though, looks like they are starting their charge.
You know, Rich Froning and that crew, there's one thing that they actually hate losing more than they like winning. So I think coming off the heels of that performance to start, they're going to be fired up the rest of the way, and that's all the fuel that they need to keep burning.
It's good to have Nikki Brazier, who's with CrossFit Mayhem Freedom.
You guys had an early lead. You were able to maintain that this entire time. What mechanism did you have to use? What strategy did you have to use to break up all those movements and stay ahead?
Go faster than everybody else. No, I'm just kidding. We practiced this last week. Kind of had an idea. We had all this wrote down, our game plan. I had to write my own tape because I sweat too much. We stuck to it. We rewatched a video 5 times to figure it out, but I think we got it.
And yesterday you told me that it might be a little bit difficult to hold your emotions back, being back out on the competition floor, having fans here for the first time. Are you finding that to be true?
Yeah, that first workout this morning, complete rookie mistake and nose on the bar. So being an idiot, just getting fired up out of the crowd. You know, is what it is. We'll battle back.
So what do you guys do tonight after day 1? How do you kind of like decompress and get ready for another day of competition?
Recover and look forward to the rest of the weekend. The rest of the weekend we feel like, just like that last one, something it's going to hurt, but
Congratulations, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
CrossFit Mayhem Freedom, their first event win of the competition at 100 points. Still to come, of course, we're going to hear from CrossFit CEO Eric Rosa, and then the women will start their second and final event of the day at 6:12. Then the men will close out the opening day of competition with events number 2. Speaking of CrossFit CEO Eric Rosa, he is with Nikki Brazier.
Eric, we're so excited to have you here.
Day 1 of the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Challenge rolling on, and we are set for the second and final event for the individuals. Thanks for staying with us here today, everybody. And Sean Woodley, Kentucky, is on the competition floor.
gave her a top finish in the first event in the snatch earlier, where she was the winner of her heat and the second best lift overall. I got to play around with the torque tank earlier just to kind of give a little bit of a feel. There's a definite sweet spot. It's important to kind of know the contrast between a traditional sled. The resistance from a traditional sled that we've seen in the games in the past. The resistance is a byproduct of the weight that's loaded on the sled and the friction from the surface that you're pushing on your length. Now that can be variable. Here, the resistance on the sled is magnetic. That means it is constant throughout. It actually even increases the more you push the sled, the faster you push the sled. So there's a sweet spot there that after a few steps you're going to find where that you're getting an equal amount of return in terms of speed compared to what you're putting into the sled on the way out.
Tell me about that spike. Try to move him, he's just going to resist you more.
Well,
Very century.
I know Spike, he's a 95-pound older Pulldowns. He doesn't like to move much, and he's quite the step.
45 calories here on the skier, and then it's another 40-foot trip down through with that torque tank, and then 45 for chest to bar pull-ups. A little bit of time gap on this event. Paige Henry working her way through with 45 calories. Henry out of CrossFit South Bay, Redondo Beach, California. She's able to reach those 4 or 5 2.5 individual one team. And she finished 27 at the Atlanta Regional 2017.
I really like the balance of this particular test. You know, the torque tank, I think after a few pushes, it's going to start to normalize amongst the field, but find that sweet spot, and it's going to start to level out. And then you have two movements in the calories of the skier. Typically the heavier athlete can really put their weight into those handles, will excel with the calories, but then you also have the typically smaller gymnastic person that's going to rip through those pull-ups, and now you have the balance of both, and what comes to the top, a well-rounded fit out.
Nicolette winner Rodriguez is getting set to close out her set of 45 calories. Paige Henry currently in second place. Rodriguez is done. But we'll see how quickly she can move this torque tank. Paige Henry is back on the torque tank as well. She's in lane 3 at the other end of the floor. You can see her in the background there in the yellow shorts.
You can already see the effect of this test on the torque tank. Winter Nicolette, on her way down, absolutely smoked that. Much more methodical pace on the way back. Once the heart rate's elevated, once you're breathing hard, you're going to have to settle into a pretty standardized pace while still making sure you don't lose any ground.
Winter Nicolette now back onto the pull-up bar, or off the pull-up bar for the first time. 45 chest to bar pull-ups.
Keep your eyes on lane 8, Becca Foot-Miller here. I think this is where the sneakiness, the veteran craftiness kind of comes into play, where you have big chunks on the skier, big chunks on the chest to bar pull-ups, and just the time that she's spent in the gym crafting strategies for competition. She's familiar with both of these, and I think she can put together a winning strategy that will make her successful in the long run for this test. She was one of the first athletes back to the chest to bar pull-ups. She's taking very calculated rests. She sleeps very comfortable. It doesn't look like she's breathing heavy. It looks like she's in total control here.
Becca Boyd continuing to work on her set of 45 chest to bar pull-ups in lane 7. Is back on the torque tank. She has taken the lead from Winter Nicolette Rodriguez. And in third place in this heat right now in lane 2 is Rebecca Fuselian. Now Paige Henry, who is in second place after the initial skier, has dropped back into fourth. She is pushing her torque tank back down towards the skier to get to work now on 30 calories. Here comes Becca Boyd-Miller.